Yeah, welcome in. Welcome back to another episode of the Format Podcast Live, Sunday morning edition.
Yep.
And we're here to talk to you all today. Thanks for coming here. Thanks for being here, first and foremost. But we're here to talk to you all today about the two greatest words in sports, and we'll get to that. But first, what's going on, Transformer? How you doing, man?
What's happening? What's happening? What's going on, brother?
I'm maintaining, man. Maintaining. Beautiful day out here in Florida, man. Beautiful weekend overall, man. Beautiful weekend. So can't
finally
complain. Blessed. I mean, need the rain too, man. People in the desert
2 weeks straight. Rain,
look, there's a lot of people in the world would pray for 2 weeks straight of rain. Am I right?
I hear you, man.
Yeah, man. It's life from the Almighty, man. Laker Nation was good. Good morning. Good morning. So as we got Laker Nation in the chat, let's go ahead and give shout outs to the channel members. Laker Nation, what's good? How you doing, brother? That's the number one channel member. Also want to give a shout out to my main man, Chief Sid Bubba. Good morning, Chief. How are you? Shout out to you and shout out to the boys from Annapolis.
Anchors away, my boys. Anchors away. Pow. All right, man. We good. Let's go and get the show rolling, man. Go ahead. Drop your salute. Ready? 2. All right, let's go.
Order. No doubt, man. Shout out to the midshipmen, man. Y'all earned that.
Yes, sir.
All right. Shout out to my man. It's not that serious. What's good, brother? How are you? And of course, shout out to Baltimore Bruce. What's going on, Bruce? What's popping? All right. So today, as you can see from the thumbnail, obviously we got only 2 topics, and the reason we're only doing 2 topics this morning, I was gonna do a 4-topic show, and then Transformer was like, Game 7's tomorrow night, right? I'm like, oh yeah, yeah.
No.
So we could go ahead. We're gonna do 2 topics this morning, and we will be back with y'all for the watch party for Game 7 of the NBA Finals, the 2 greatest words in sports. Game 7, where we will find out who it's gonna be. Is it gonna be what the helly? Tyrese Halliburton? Or is it going to be the MVP, Shai Gilgeous, and the rest of his squad? Who's going to be raising the Larry O'Brien tonight? And, it should be – hopefully it's a good one. I have my thoughts on that, but hopefully it's a good one. But, yeah, so we're here to talk a little bit about that. And, of course, you can also see from the thumbnail, we're going to talk the surprising announcement of a UFC legend. We don't normally talk a lot about UFC here on this channel. I'm more of a boxing guy myself, but my main man, Transformer, he's going to take point on that. And we'll have another guy who knows a lot about UFC coming in to discuss that as well. So should be good. And I have, again, I'm not a huge UFC guy, but I have, I guess, some thoughts and maybe a question to ask, and it should be interesting. All right. Where are we? Man, nobody cutting corners, Bruce, but we're going to have the live party. We're going to have the live watch tonight. So we're coming back. We're coming back later on this evening for the
cutting corners. You come on. All right, you hop on and do 4 or 5 hours of content. How about that,
same day? Mm-hmm.
In the same day on a Sunday. Come on, man.
The last one, what was that, Thursday, when we did the full show, and then we came back and did
that was like 6 hours.
Man, right? We did the watch party.
Almost we got kids. Man. We got dog. Come on, man. Like,
and they don't be trying to hear all that. If you want to
be realistic, man. Be realistic. Cutting corners. We giving you 5 or 6 hours of content today.
But we do appreciate y'all, man. In all seriousness, we appreciate y'all. But I know, right, Laker Nation? But we appreciate y'all for sure. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna get started, and let's kick it off with yeah, Steve. What's up, King of the Chat? What's going on, man? But we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna kick it off with a couple of quick hits. So you know what, Transformer? I thought about this right after we talked. I want to do a quick hit that's not technically sports related, right? Yeah. This Jim Jones Nas thing.
Oh, commentary. Boy.
And did you hear him on
Yes.
Club, on Nightcap? Man.
On Nightcap.
Yeah, he was on Nightcap. I think it was last night. It was either last night or the night before. And him and Shannon got into a yelling match. Yeah.
I didn't see that.
Yeah. It was pretty cool. It was entertaining. I was like,
oh
what?
man.
I
saw the
thought
one when he was on Fat Joe and Jadakiss joint.
Yeah. Right. So for those of y'all who don't know, obviously Jim Jones is a member of the Diplomats crew, aka Dipset, out of New York City, out of Harlem, New York, and was a very popular rapper for a minute, right? Maybe like 20 years. You know, him and Cam and Jewels, and they had some hits or whatever. And then of course, you know, if you know anything about hip hop at all, you know about Nas, one of the greatest hip hop legends of all time, right? Not because he's from New York, but because he's one of the greatest hip hop legends of all time, period. So Jim Jones was recently on Fat Joe and Jadakiss podcast, and he basically said he feels like he's better than Nas. And he's like, you know, check my Billboard and my stats and all. I'm like, oh, okay. So Transformer, you already know which way I'm leaning on this, but I want to get your thoughts on it, man. First, like, who do you think is better, and what did you think of the commentary, man? I'd love to hear this.
I'm a Euro step over the first question that you asked me, and I'm gonna get to the second question you asked me.
Are you going Manu Ginobili that?
Yeah, I'm gonna just straight up
honest that.
Yeah, I'm because first of all, who better is not even a question. It's just not. I mean, it could be a question for somebody.
I'm trying to be fair.
It's two different styles of rap, and I'll give it to Jim Jones. Patting yourself on the back, bro. Okay, cool. But I think a little dementia is starting to settle in. I think Jim Jones is pushing 50, if not 50 already. So he's up there in age, man.
He's 48. I heard him say he's 48.
Okay, 48. Pushing 50, right? To make a statement like that, man, I mean, you're bigging yourself up, man. I get it, but being realistic, bro, it's not even realistically close. It's not. It's not. You pull up the billboards. I mean, Nas had about 79 entries or something like that on the billboards. To Jim Jones, like 30 something. So I mean, that was just straight up lopsided. You look at albums, you look at platinum albums, you look at platinum records. It's one-sided. Lyrically, man, like this Nas went toe to toe with some of the greatest in hip hop history, right? Jim Jones, bro, ballin'. That's the only thing we know you by, bro.
That's a mega hit.
Mega hit.
But
we ain't reciting the verse. We ain't reciting the verse, bro. Like that was a wild. I gotta watch the one he did with Shannon, but I'm just gonna recall the Fat Joe Jadakiss one when he was saying the things like, put my records up next to his, and Jadakiss went like,
right. And Fat Joe sitting there like,
bro, like we get it, man, bigging yourself up, like,
right, we get it.
What is you saying?
Yeah,
what are you saying, man?
Yeah, you're not speaking truth here.
No, you're not. He's speaking from a place of delusion. I don't know.
Yeah,
but it's not close, man.
So you know me, I could be kind of biased in my opinions regarding hip hop. I get it.
Well, they're both New York, so there goes that one.
Well, not even that. Like, I'm more of a purist in terms of like I respect the true lyricists a little more, right? Yeah. So when you hear Jim Jones say something like that, I'm like, you know what I thought when I heard him say that? I thought of the Rick James skit on Chappelle Show. Cocaine is a hell of a drug. I'm like, he has to be on something to make a statement like that. I'm like, and it's not me trying to. I full disclosure, I've never been a Diplomats fan, right?
Yeah,
never, just not really my speed. But again, shout outs to Jim Jones for believing that he is what he thinks he is, because you're supposed to. What up, Armand Smith? How you doing? But I think that was just such a ridiculous statement to make. And if I'm Nas, I just ignore that. It's not even worth it, right? Like, okay, Nas and Jay, that was legit, right? Two titans of the game.
Yeah.
Nas and Jim Jones, come on, man.
Yeah.
What is it? To quote Jay-Z on Takeover, crush you ants with a sledgehammer, right? Like, come on, man.
I'm pretty sure Nas is going to keep that same energy from, what was it, 2008, 2007? This ain't nothing new between them two. Nas and Jim Jones had a standing beef or something to say about 20 years ago. And even then Nas like addressed it, but he was like, why would I waste my pen on him?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna waste my pen on him. He's like,
Isn't that crazy?
what's gonna be the first sentence that I say? Like, I
Yeah.
got nothing. I got nothing to say. Like, because I know he's not gonna respond to a way that's gonna be competitive. Like,
it's not
compete with you. Like, no.
Yeah. Like, come on, that's not competition. Like, we're not doing that. Right. Exactly.
Make your ditty bops, man, and just keep it moving. But comparing,
you're in your lane, and respect due for the success you've had. But let's just leave it there. Nas is probably thinking, please don't make me do it.
No.
Don't
even waste your time, bro. Don't even. I feel like he might have an album dropping or something, or a record. Jim, he might have something getting ready to drop because there's what reason would you come out and say some stuff like that? You know,
touche.
So, that's
all right. Well, I think that's that. I just thought that, we're starting to get into that dry period of the sports calendar. So, and I just thought it was an interesting story. So I just figured,
it's hilarious. No, it's a great quick hit,
isn't it?
It's a great quick hit. It's hilarious. Now I'm gonna go back and try to watch the Nightcap. And
check
Jim
that out.
See if he says something different than what I've already heard. But other than that, it's just like, no.
Like, what are you doing, bro?
The verses, right? I know the verses really wasn't Jim Jones versus Jada and them, but it was more Diplomats
versus D-Block, right?
Locks, versus Locks, right?
Yeah.
And even then, bro, it wasn't no real records that you could have said because Jadakiss played his own records. It wasn't all Locks. Jada played his own joints. You couldn't do nothing with that.
Right.
Y'all couldn't do nothing with Jada by himself. And Nas, bro, come on, man. Get out of here. That don't even make sense. Bro. We saw y'all get crucified on stage by Jada by himself, and then the rest of the Locks was just stomping you, getting extra foots in while you was already on the ground.
Right.
Nas by himself will annihilate you, bro. It's
no doubt. Brian Hawkin, what's going on, man? This is our caller from the Emerald Isle, man. What's going on? Shout outs to Island. What's going on, brother?
Oh boy.
Yeah. Brian Hawkin.
He's called a pint. Get a pint.
All right. Get a Guinness.
Conor
McGregor in the chat. All right, y'all. Let's get on to the second quick hit, then we'll go ahead and get started. So you go ahead and take point on this second quick hit.
No problem. This is a big quick hit, very tall quick hit, because this person I'm talking about is 7'3" and one of the future upcoming superstars in the NBA. We are talking Victor Wembanyama, who's been cited with a shaved head and a robe on.
Yes.
Training with the Shaolin monks.
Yes.
Right? Training with the Shaolin monks. And apparently he has put on weight and is now sitting at a whopping 245 pounds. Whopping.
Scary.
245 pounds. So obviously he's been in the gym. He's been getting his diet right. He's been getting more healthy because he's looking to make a nice comeback compared to what he was last season. As you guys know, he had a blood clot in his shoulder, so his season had to get ended a whole lot sooner than expected. But I quote him, "It was a great experience. My goal going there was to put my body through things that is not used to going through and allowing my range of motion and strength. This is probably as very different as possible for what I'm used to doing. Kung Fu every day. It was like a vegan temple. I was so isolated, but I did have to sneak out and get some meat dishes, to help me maintain my 245 pounds I have reached." Gotta pause that, bro. Gotta pause that.
Yes, you gotta pause that. That's a big pause.
Sneak out and get some meat dishes. Whoa.
Oh my gosh.
Whoa. But as we know, the Spurs are definitely one of the eye watching teams because of what they added on last season. De'Aaron Fox added on as a point guard. Dylan Harper, who's going to be the expected number 2 pick this week. So they have pieces that are already there and looking to make another jump here in the NBA. So what is your take on the star Victor Wembanyama, the next superstar to crown the NBA?
So I think if he can stay healthy, and this is always the caveat, right? Can someone stay healthy? I was really concerned about whether or not he could do that in the modern coming over. But to that point, the modern NBA is not nearly as physical. It's not the same level of post play. And when you watch him play, he seems to want to be more of Kevin Durant than he wants to be Olajuwon. And that's fine, right? That's really great for this era. So I respect that he's got a varied and wide skill set. I would love to see if he could get a little stronger in his base, and you know all about that, Transformer, to be able to further take advantage of the height mismatch that he will almost always have in the post. Because if he can do that, those buckets are going to be damn near automatic, right? And then you augment that with his ability to step out to the high post, all the way out to three, put it on the floor, be at the rim in 3 dribbles, right? If that, or pull up for a deep triple, right? He's got all those abilities. I just feel like, okay, I got you, Snead. I just feel as if if he is stronger, which they're saying that he will be, then I'm like, okay, that could be a really good thing. So I'm looking forward to it. And I think there's a lot of, as we've discussed, a lot of outstanding young talent in the league. I think Wemby can be real serious if if he can just maintain his physical ability. So, I'm good with it. Now, where he is on the list of superstars in the league, like, I'm not sure. I don't think we've seen enough yet, but we've seen that there's a lot of ability there. And I love the fact that he went to train in a totally different way. Because I'm sure if any one of us, I grew up on kung fu movies, right? I ain't gonna lie. And believe it or not, I'm actually a martial artist myself, right? So knowing that, like, there's a totally different level of body control and body strength, especially like for the monks in Shaolin, they can do things that don't even seem human, right? So if he's only there for like 10 or 12 days, I think they said he was training, but even still, he's learning things that he can take with him, that he can employ. And then there's also the mindfulness piece that the monks enjoy in terms of constant and extended levels of meditation. So I think that this probably can do very well for him. So I'm looking forward to see how he is able to utilize those things to put into his toolkit to become a better basketball player.
No, that's good. To cite some recent history, his rookie season, he played 71 games. Of course, he played 46 last year before he was diagnosed with the blood clot in his shoulder. But in his rookie season, he got Rookie of the Year, runner-up to Defensive Player of the Year, and he made the All-Defensive First Team in his rookie season. Improved on his numbers from the previous year. He was a block leader as a rookie, and he would have been the block leader in his sophomore season, also averaging 24.3 points with 3.8 blocks, 11 rebounds, 3.7 assists, 3-point percentage going up to 35%. Meanwhile, shooting overall 47.6% from the field. Great numbers. If he can improve, if he continues to improve, this year he'll be 22 years of age, which he's still really getting to his prime. Like, he's still ascending up to the next level.
So,
So this is going to be a great season to see if he comes back and put those things to work. The one thing I think about Kung Fu is balance, right? Everything's balance. You have to be sound ground. Everything is from the feet up. They go feet up with their training. So everything base up. So that could also be helpful, especially as a big man at 7'3", at 245. You can utilize that strength and that base to really get by your opponent. Something we say a lot about Chet Holmgren. We're going to get to him in a moment, but not being bounced out. Like, just because I'm getting guarded by a guy my size or bigger, I'm just getting bounced out and I can't get to my spot.
Moved off my spot. Exactly.
Moved off my spot. So something like that could definitely help a Victor Wembanyama, who's 7'3" now, 245. Like, I can be more balanced. Like, you bump me, cool, boom. I'm gonna just spin off of you, and I'm gonna continue to keep going. So, I mean, obviously, you see the look at the chisel in the arms, man. Look at the right there. All right, look at the biceps, look at the triceps. Okay, my man is working.
If we remember, what's my guy's name? D-Rob. D-Rob was Diesel. He was about 245 at 7'7" So Victor Wembanyama, he can continue to work. And again, nobody's expecting him to be that. Nobody's expecting him to be Giannis, but like you said, getting stronger in that base and being able to be in a position where nobody's going to push you off your spot. I think it could be very good for him. Yes, you know what, Chief? Absolutely. Great analogy. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Enter the Dragon. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
The Last Dragon. You are the last dragon. You possess the power of the glow. That's what he looked like in that photo. He like Bruce Leroy. Who's the master?
Who's the master? All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get to these main topics here. And joining us to talk these main topics today, we got our main guy, Sneed. What's going on, Sneed? How you doing?
What up, man? You guys got it primed up with all that kung fu and taekwondo talk. Let's go, man.
Absolutely. Man, listen, I love martial arts, man. My son is training in Wing Chun right now, man. So I love martial arts.
I'm big into martial arts.
When I was overseas, yeah, I love it. Absolutely. And I could blame my uncle for that, man. What up, Uncle Ron? This dude had me watching kung fu movies from the time I was like 5 years old. So it's a thing, man. It's a thing.
Well, that was that era, man. It was really big on that stuff.
Shaw Brothers Movie Studios, absolutely. All right, but let's go ahead, Transformer and Sneed, and let's get right to it. Oh man, I'm sorry, I forgot to upload the Game 7 overlay. So we're just gonna have to go without it because lazy to go get it. It's around somewhere. Let me see if I can
just get yourself an image, bro, and then split it with the screen. You'll get something up there. You know what I mean?
I know. Here we go. All right, I'm gonna have it in a second. My bad, y'all. I'm sorry. Just Sunday mornings will get you sometimes.
Hey, they will, man.
Here we go. All right, there we go. All right, Game 7. So, two best words in sports, as we mentioned earlier. Game 7. This is a series I did not expect to go 7 games. I thought it would be over and up right now. I thought OKC would have closed it out in Game 6, which was the last game. Instead, they got blown out, run off the floor in Indianapolis, literally. So, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna start with our guest Sneed here, man. What do you think of Game 7? What can we expect to see?
I think it's going to be a lot of back and forth. I think you're going to see those 3, 4, 5 possession runs where Indiana rips off a few and then OKC rips off a few. You're going to see timeouts. Like really, I mean, we've seen it already in the series where there's very, very fine in-game management. Like Rick Carlisle's not letting the Thunder go beyond 3 consecutive scores without an answer, right? So you're going to see more of that. I think Halliburton's good for the go because he played well last game.
Yeah.
So now you're getting a couple more days of rest off of a good game. So I think he has not only confidence in the calf, but I think the team does as well. So they're probably thinking Game 7, you got to play all the minutes you can. They're just going to look to get him a couple minutes each quarter, probably. But he's going to play about 40. You know, Siakam's going to play more than 40. I think a guy like Nembhard. Yeah, I think a guy like Nembhard's going to log some serious minutes too defensively on SGA. Just he's a little bit better than Nesmith, you know, in the foundational defense, like moving his feet, staying inside without reaching. You know, Nesmith is a jumper, a reacher. And you know what? That's another thing, man. If the refs call this a certain way, this gets the Thunder to the free throw line. And that's been a big thing. Like the penalty in this, like last game, Game 6. The Thunder were in the penalty at like the 4-minute mark. That's putting the Pacers at the line when they weren't really scoring that great. They kind of opened things up at the end of the quarter. So I hope they let them play and let the players decide the outcome, because if they start getting whistle happy one way or the other, it's going to start shifting the outcome of the game a little bit. I'm going with the Thunder, but it's going to be close. It's going to be a lot of back and forth. I kind of gave you my game breakers, like what's going to be there. I'm expecting Caruso to be locked down. I'm expecting Ludor to be locked down. Chet's going to have to do a little bit of scoring. J-Dub is going to have to score.
You
like 25 is you need like 25 from like J-Dub at least. 15 from Chet, at least.
Okay.
Those other guys ain't going to do it. You can't expect. Look, if Cason Wallace gets you a few threes, I mean, that's huge. If Aaron Wiggins gets you a few threes, that's huge. I just don't expect it. Game 7, bro.
I think it's got to be Caruso. the main bench contributor for OKC. Real quick, I'll say that I don't anticipate the referees playing a huge role in this because for the most part throughout this series, they didn't for the most part. And really for the most part throughout this playoff run on the whole, the referees haven't been overly obtrusive. So I would really be upset if they let that happen in game 7 of the finals. Like I can't imagine that, but I could be wrong. Real quick before I let Transformer go, one more question for you, Sneed. If you're Rick Carlisle, what is your thought? Let SGA get his, hold everybody else down, or lock down the MVP and make the role players beat you? Which way do you go?
I'm watching the tape from the last game.
Okay.
He gets 1 foot in the paint. There's a double team. There's reaches. The hands are active. You're covering up his space. So he can't get to the passing lane. He can't, dribble away from the defense. Exactly what they did in game 6, which is he got 1 step in the paint and there were additional defenders there waiting for him. And they forced 8 turnovers. I'm doing that again.
Fair enough. Transformer.
Man, look.
Thoughts on tonight, man.
Game 7.
Game 7.
Grind, grit, texts, files. You got 6 of them.
Use them.
You got 6 of them. Use them.
Yeah.
Right? Bodies hit the flow. Let the bodies hit the. I need to hear and I need to see some true competitiveness. This is it. This is it. This is completely it. There's no suspension next game. There's no worry about next game. There's no ice up, son, and get ready for the next game. This is the last game of the season.
That's right.
There's no repeats, right? That's what I want to see. Right. Okay. I believe this could be a low scoring game if they compete. If they truly compete, lay it out all on the line, right? It's truly going to come down to the bench. I think it's truly going to come down to the bench. OKC has been struggling with their bench.
But hasn't their bench
only in away games? Only in away games,
right? And we get that all the time.
Today, I don't want OKC can't see this as a home game. They need to see this as a get it done game.
Of course,
get it done. Don't care where you at. I don't care if I was in Indiana. I don't care if I was in Charlotte. I'm trying to get this done tonight. Right? This is it. Get it done. So I truly think the bench is definitely going to be the focal point in this one. TJ McConnell, Megan's brother, has really stepped up for Indiana, right? Big moments.
Yo, this has been terrible all series, bro. You guys are killing me with this stuff, bro.
Hey, Megan's brother, Megan McConnell. So, Megan, I'm about to say it again. TJ McConnell really stepped up for Indiana. Obi Toppin really stepping up. Of course, you got Mathurin off the bench. So those guys have been contributing, right? You got to match that energy. Not expecting Caruso to drop a 20-piece or anything like that, but his defense and the transition buckets. If he can get about 10 to 12, that can help you out. They need something from their bench to help those guys in the starting lineup. Jalen Williams, I see him getting 25 easy because we're gonna need you. We're gonna need you. They're gonna throw everything at Shai Gilgeous-Alexander to get him off of his spot and to make him uncomfortable. Chet, if you miss one more alley-oop, bro, I'm benching you.
Bro. But you know what?
Can't be doing that this game.
Transformer, but for me, more than that, I need Chet to focus on dominating the glass. Even if you don't score, if you dominate the glass, I'm cool with that because no rebounds, no rings, right?
Exactly.
He's got like 3 or 4 games with 5 or more offensive boards. He's got those games.
What was it? 2 games ago, he had 15 rebounds.
Tonight,
and
6 offensive.
6. Yes.
Yeah. Them easy putbacks, like I said, just really being dominant, really being gritty. And hey, man, if you get hurt, bro, it's all right. If you get hurt in this game, bro, you tried it. Because you ain't worried about the next one. Like, I need to save some energy for next. Bro, I need you to get in there, bang with them boys, get them boards, do everything in your power to get every freaking rebound.
Transformer, to your point, it's a legacy game.
Yeah. Truly.
For a lot of people here.
Yeah.
Like Rick Carlisle, legacy.
Yeah.
He'll be known as one of the most unique coaches ever in the league history.
If they win this,
come in and beat these favorites, heavy favorites. with these huge dominant runs.
Yes.
For Halliburton, the doubters, right?
Yes.
For SGA, confirmed the triple crown, right?
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Like there's a lot, and then everybody's already been talking about a dynasty. You gotta start with one.
Of course. No, those are all great points, Steve. Great points. So as you mentioned it, I was going to bring up SGA's legacy. I guess we kind of already talked about that on previous episodes. But as you mentioned it, Sneed, Rick Carlisle's legacy, where does this put him among coaches? And the reason I say that, this will be, let's say he wins and the Pacers win tonight. That's twice he won with heavy underdog teams, beating, big time favorites. And again, he's done it
MVP
more than one place. Oh, that's right.
He's been beating league MVPs, right. Hall of Famers. And he himself right now does not have any Hall of Fame talent, not even close.
Barely got an all-star talent.
Right. So the question is, where do you guys look at Rick Carlisle if he pulls this off in terms of pantheon of coaches? Does
Dragon Slayer
put him over Larry Brown? I think it does.
I'll put him. He's the Dragon Slayer. That's what I'll call him.
Yeah. No question.
Definitely call him the Dragon Slayer. Heavy underdog, and you went in that cave with a sword and a shield, and you slayed them dragons every time.
So he's the best coach to win one. He'll be the best coach to ever win two, and then he'll be in the pantheon of guys that have won a few because the value of his rings.
Right.
Like they hold that, and there's people that say a ring is a ring, and they don't care about context. I can't tell you how much I disagree with that.
Yeah.
People do special things in special circumstances. You need those to be special.
Yeah.
Right. They either help you achieve and reach higher or they bury you. Right. So yeah, he'd be in the pantheon of the most impressive NBA coaches ever, especially when he ran away from Dallas. And he ran away from Luka.
Well, and everybody thought he was crazy for doing that, right?
Yeah.
Now imagine he pulls this off, and we can't forget Halliburton was the guy he originally wanted. So we can't.
But Bruce, he ran away from Luka, and then they trade Luka.
Nobody's talking about this in the mainstream media because it ruins the narrative. We know how that goes. And nobody's saying Luka's not great in this era.
That's not the question. I'm looking at what's played out. I got the coach who left abruptly, never said any, like nothing public, never seemed disgruntled. They just left. And then the guy gets traded for Anthony Davis, who's 8 years his elder, with very little else.
Right. It would be interesting. Everyone, people always speak to Rick Carlisle's quirky personality. Yeah. So,
has anybody ever not seen Greg Popovich at those timeout interviews?
Yeah.
What he did to Craig Sager all those years was terrorizing him, bro.
but Coach,
what do you think we should do? What do you think we should do? You think we need to run more screens?
How'd the quarter go? Bad.
I'm sure they had a great relationship behind the scenes.
But you get what I'm saying? Like that's a very common thing. Like there's fiery coaches, there's quirky coaches, there's curmudgeons, there's
Bill Belichick,
happy-go-lucky. Yeah, there's some guys who put on a good show, and then there's JJ Redick. You know what I mean? Like we got all types of it.
Yeah.
Man, nice try, Bruce. I see where you're trying to do that. Nice try.
To bring a team, nobody in their right mind thought the Indiana was getting this far. Nobody.
No.
You remember start the season over, you would have looked
back up. Hold on. Bruce said they were getting this far. So let me give props there.
Okay.
Bruce called all this.
But did he say that in April?
No, he didn't say they were making the finals.
No,
he didn't have them in the finals.
When did he say that?
I'm saying period. I'm talking about get this far.
Well, he didn't say they were going to the finals, but every series they were in, he called them to win the series.
Oh, yeah, that's different than what I'm saying.
He didn't measure all the way out from the beginning, but every single series,
that's different. That's not what I'm saying.
Bruce
did not say when the playoffs started, I see Indiana in the finals. He did not say that. That's what I'm talking about. Did anybody see Indiana getting this far?
No, wait a minute. I think he
did.
When
the season started. He did not say that. No, he didn't.
I think he did.
No,
when?
I think he said that when we I think he,
because I'll be very impressed if he said in March.
I don't think he said it. No, he didn't say it in March.
Okay, did he say it in April?
He said it to me in our texts on the side. He said it to me.
What time
beginning
frame?
of the playoffs. He said this at the beginning of the playoffs.
In April.
Remember
Okay.
that. Yeah.
Not
Yeah,
after the first series, like right before the playoffs started.
No, he told me because remember we did our picks on we picked them by the series and whatnot, and I said that Indy was going to lose to Milwaukee. Remember I said that?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Bruce hit me on the side. He's like, "Yo, Indiana's sneaky good. Watch out for them. They're going."
That's
and
a good call.
Man, are you insane?
Yeah,
he must have been watching the Pacers really closely for like the last month or something. That's a good call. I mean, I was seeing him win games, but I didn't see this.
Yeah, didn't see
because this actually, if you think about it, the way you're winning regular season games doesn't necessarily indicate success in the playoffs. Look at the Cavs.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Look at Cleveland. Look at Boston. So absolutely, no, it happens. But yeah, this is to your point, Snead. I love what you said. There's a lot of different legacy items on the line here. Halliburton, to your point, SGA. I mean, even Daigneault, right? Mark Daigneault, the coach of the Thunder. This could be his first one and an opportunity to really.
Do you remember their previous coach, Bruce?
Second.
Do you remember their previous coach?
Thunder,
Billy Donovan.
Billy Donovan.
Oh, yeah,
okay,
Scott Brooks.
Okay, that wasn't working, bro.
No.
And then they're like,
he left and went to Chicago.
I don't know if his contract expired or if he was fired, but he ended up going to Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
And I wouldn't necessarily say the Chicago job is better. Maybe it's a bigger market, but it's not necessarily better.
Right.
But this guy comes in and, inexperience and who knows what he's doing. But like this is pretty nice. And Sam Presti.
A great point. That's another one whose legacy
because look, he had KD, he had Russell Westbrook,
James Harden.
He built this team through picks and all this, and they were so close.
Mm-hmm.
And the players kind of bailed, right? Like James Harden took the money and went to a bigger situation.
Can't be mad.
And then KD left, because he didn't believe in Russ or whatever. And like he just kept on fulfilling the needs of this roster and piling picks and drafting guys and putting things together. He brings in Isaiah Hartenstein. He brings in Alex Caruso. He brings in players while drafting the core. And now he set the for how to build a championship NBA roster. This guy's you got to count him as one of the best GMs ever.
Mm-hmm.
He just needs a chip to prove it.
Yeah, absolutely. Once he does that, because we've seen him build 2 elite championship level teams from the ground up. It wasn't necessarily through, super trades or super teams or whatever. So, I mean, obviously they got SGA through a trade, but that's before SGA was SGA. That's before he, became.
I don't even remember what people thought of SGA when he was.
I don't think anyone really talked about it.
Did they say he was going to be an all-star caliber player?
Probably when he got traded.
Right?
Yeah, when he got traded from the Clippers.
Yeah, he was definitely
so that was it. But
yeah.
We see league MVP.
Was he okay?
I don't think we weren't discussing that, but people knew that he was going to be an all-star talent. They were definitely high up.
So we were all wrong on John Morant. We were all wrong on Zion. It was this guy. I mean, hell, I remember people telling me Scotty Barnes was going to be like the next big thing, and I'm just like, he's all right, but I don't see it yet.
Hey, what, Toronto?
Yeah. Yep. So yeah, I think we have a lot to be excited about and a lot to look forward to in this Game 7 tonight. Oh, here's my other question. And then I guess we'll open the phone lines up. If you're Coach Daigneault, do you try to run stuff to get SGA going early, or try to get the other guys going early and then let SGA bring you home?
Other guys.
What do you think is the better way to handle that?
Other guys. SGA is averaging 30.
Mm-hmm.
What more do I don't need to get him going. My bench has been my bugaboo. The other guys have been my bugaboo. When they don't score, we're having problems. When they don't score, SGA still gets 30.
Okay.
When they do score, SGA still gets 30. SGA ain't the problem. He's going to get 30 no matter how I fix it. Get my other guys going. Everybody else get involved. Find your rhythm. SGA tax on 30. That's my philosophy. If I can get y'all to get 10 here, 12 here, 15 here, you get 8 and stuff like that. If I can spread that around, SGA is a surefire 30. I add 30 on top of that. Now I'm at a 120-point game, right? So yeah, in my opinion, you definitely go get the other guys involved. SGA gonna get his.
But can we assume that based on the outstanding defensive job Indiana pulled off on him last game? or do you want to run some stuff and utilize him to set the tone early? Because what was it, Game 5, the OKC blowout, he got going early. So I don't know.
The thing about SGA is when we say like he can get things going, I've seen within this series, we'll just talk about this series, games where SGA didn't touch the ball for the first 3 possessions. And then he does, get his hands on the ball for about 3-4 possessions in a row, and he scores 3. So like kind of what Transformer is saying, he's their only offensive safety net. I don't think you start there.
Okay.
I think you start with J-Dub, attacking the rim. I think you start with Chet getting a couple touches in the paint. Because that's been a blueprint that's gotten him a couple of wins in this series.
Getting Chet going early.
I'm starting there. And then, you're down 7-2. SGA becomes, the answer. I'm going to go to SGA. He'll find his spot, within the mid-range. He'll get somebody on an up fake and he'll get some free throws. You want to keep it close that way because you can offensively really break the game open if Chet gets 8 points in the first quarter, if J-Dub gets 10 points early in the game, that really opens things up. And trust me, those guys will be open. The Case and Wallace, and Wiggins, they can knock down shots when they're wide open. It's going to be harder for them when the shot clock is closing in. So like those are the things they've been watching this film, Bruce. There's no adjustments really left. I mean, we saw Tony Bradley come into Game 4.
Right. It's
like, what the hell are we talking about? Yeah, we've seen Thomas Bryant come in the game. Like, they don't even have a place in these games, but they've tried everything. For Daigneault, you've got proof. You've got wins in which you went with J-Dub early, in which Case and Wallace was running point guard for a couple possessions. It's crazy, but we've seen it. And I think SGA starts in the corner and kind of integrates himself into the flow of the offense on a gradual level within the first quarter. It's worked for them a couple times. I don't think they're going to get away from it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let me ask you this. What's my bad? You had something to go with Transform? You had something to say?
No. I don't think Scott Foster's reffing tonight. So
okay.
I think that's good. I think I update like an hour ago.
I mean, I don't think it's a big deal.
That's crazy. We got updates on the refs, bro. That's wild.
Because Scott Foster's known to call some bullshit.
Yeah.
He stopped calling that BS out of nowhere.
Make sure you all hit that like button, people. Make sure you hit the like button. All right. So I forgot what I was gonna say, but no, it's gonna be. Oh, that's what it was. So let me ask you this: and what's more important, contribution wise, from Caruso? Elite defense, get some steals and blocks, take some charges, or do you want the 15 to 20 points? Which one is more important? Because we know that Oklahoma City is a historically good defensive team. And when Caruso gets out there, I mean, granted, he can contribute on both sides, but when he gets out there and makes those plays on defense, rips guys, takes the charge, gets a block, that seems to really ignite the rest of the team and that whole building. Which one you think, if you could only choose one, which would you take, his defense or his offense?
Well, when he does score
20,
what happens?
Well, they're unbeatable.
There goes your answer.
Okay.
Pretty much, I mean,
I see what you are. You're an offense guy.
No, I'm just saying. I go with what like. How have y'all been winning? Like, when he scores 20, what is the factors that change the game? We win every time, right? His defense is always going to be there. It's not like he's going to score 20 and his defense just sucks. No, Caruso is a ball hawk regardless, right?
Yes,
because his defense turns into offense where he can get an extra 6 to 8 just in transition, right? The other extra just coming up, maybe a couple at the free throw line and 2 or 3 shot attempts, right? He can still get 20. So I would rather him get the 20 because I know his defense is still going to be there, right? He's still going to play elite defense. He's still going to play, and he knows this is the last game. He's a champion. People forget that. He's already a champion. So his mindset, okay, if I can get 20, I'm clamping stuff down. Right. And getting those extra 2 to 3 possessions because I'm playing the passing lanes and I'm stealing the ball and I'm taking it off on transition. So if he can get 20, they're unbeatable. But his defense is going to always be there. It's not like you can just take it away.
See, here's the thing, Bruce. You're the way you framed it. Is you're trying to make it exclusive, and you can't. For Alex Caruso. So like Alex Caruso's points are because of his defense. right? So I can't separate those like one or the other because the 5 steals turn into 8 points.
Yeah,
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So I can't.
Yep.
So it's like an automatic 14, 16 points if he's 8 on the fast break.
Right.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So I can't really separate those two things. But I could tell you this: if he gets 4 or 5 steals, they're winning this game because some of those will turn into transition buckets where J-Dub is running the floor with him, or whoever, SGA, Chet. He'll find guys. Really, it's the offensive glass.
Okay.
If Indiana sells out and prevents offensive rebounds, and even Alex Caruso gets offensive rebounds. Like if he doesn't get, that's gonna keep this game close. If I can't get some points out of Alex Caruso, that means the Pacers are preventing the Thunder from getting out, and that means the Pacers aren't turning over the ball. So that's where it is. It's Caruso with the steals, the blocks, creating the turnovers, which creates offense. And there's no easier offense in the NBA when you got guys that are 6'5", 6'8", that are fast, and they just get out. Right?
Yeah.
You can't stop all that pressure, bro. They running the floor. You're on a 2-1, a 3-2, whatever the numbers are. They're gonna score.
Do you think that that crowd? I know it sounds crazy. You think they're going to be able to rattle Indiana? Because they say that OKC is arguably the loudest arena in the league, and it's Game 7, and those fans are going to be in there going insane.
They've already won.
Doesn't even matter. Yep, doesn't even matter.
Yeah, but it's Game 7. I think they're going to be.
Game 7 is one thing, Bruce. Game 7 is one thing. It's not the noise. They just know it's Game 7. It's just heavy.
Yeah.
It's not the crowd.
It's the pressure of this is it. There is no opportunity after this.
No.
They won Game 1 in OKC.
Yeah.
They won Game 1 in the last round. They won Game 1 before against the Cavs. They're winning away when they don't have a chance, when the crowd's going crazy. I mean, look, maybe it'll be a little bit louder than Game 1, but not by much.
Right. Okay.
That blue and white crowd is going to be funny.
Man,
they might not sit down. They might not sit down the whole game.
Stand that whole freaking game. They might be in there with Vuvuzuelas. Oh my, yeah, it's good. It's going to be bonkers in there tonight.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. I think we're going to get a great game. All right, you guys ready to take some calls on this? I want to hear what the people got to say.
Bring in the people.
It looks like Steve's got something to say. He says, "Y'all are going deep. To me, this comes down to OKC's bench." Let's talk. Yeah. Tell me about the bench. Tell me who it's going to be. Tell me what Mark Dagnall's going to do. Who's coming in first to make the impact? Because I think he has a couple of options off the bench, but I don't think it's changing from the previous games. Like he's not going to be turning into the other Jalen Williams. You know, it's going to be the usual suspects. I think Bruce was right to look at Alex Caruso. He's the only bench guy you trust.
Yeah.
Right.
Steve, what's going on? King of the chat. How you doing, brother?
Steve, what up?
Good, bro. What up, Steve? What up, Twizzler?
What's happening, King? What's going on?
Not much. Good morning, fellas.
Good morning, Steve.
Y'all went deep. I mean, I appreciate it. That wasn't a jab. Y'all went deep. But I don't have much to say because I agree with a lot of what's need the intellect.
Yes. Yes.
But in all seriousness, this comes down to, in my opinion, the way I look at it is the advantage OKC has playing at home, and we know how the bench role is a key factor in home playoff games. The bench typically plays better at home, and the fact that OKC they do have the bench for guys to come in and contribute at a high factor. Yes, you have Megan McConnell and Indy, but on the road, I think, and I do agree.
Look what you guys did.
I think Jay Will has to be a 22 plus guy tonight. Caruso needs to come in. If Caruso can get you like 8 to 12 points, but play his defensive role and really check the perimeter to contribute to helping guys like Dort, keep these guys from getting free lanes to the bucket. I just feel like OKC has that advantage playing at home. OKC is going to be wild. This fan base has been waiting for something like this. So the atmosphere with the idea of the advantage of the role players they have coming in to step in and give you starter production in limited roles, I think gives them the advantage. Anything can happen, fellas. It's a game 7. But on paper going into this, I see OKC by 8-12 at home. I think it's going to be back and forth, through 3 quarters. I think the fourth quarter is when you can really see OKC really put their foot on the throat. Pause. But I just can't help. I can't think of a different way where OKC doesn't have an advantage in the bench being the main contributor. Chet has to be a man tonight. Finish strong. Get you your 12 rebounds.
Got to.
Be an impact. Don't just be a catch and shoot guy.
Right.
Really impose yourself early. Make a statement early. He has the ability. He doesn't have the strength, but he does have the skill and ability to do it. But yeah, those are my thoughts. I just feel like the bench and OKC playing at home has a distinct advantage. Utilize that in OKC by 8-12.
Yeah, I believe OKC has the ability to get it done. And we've seen it, throughout these playoffs, throughout the season. OKC loses, they come back and they win by double digits. Now, again, Rick Carlisle is probably too good a coach to expect that to be the case tonight. But I just think OKC has a little too much, and then game 7 being in their house. But again, to Snead and Transformers' point, we saw Indianapolis beat them in their house, but I don't see
game
it here.
1. Yeah, game 1 we saw it.
Yeah, and this is also where MVPs demonstrate that they're MVPs, so I expect that from SGA tonight.
But my last thought, because I know we've talked about earlier in this series strategically where it's like other guys start off and Shea just kind of comes in at will when need be. I would honestly, given that it's a game 7, Shea needs to go at it aggressively to start this. Set the tone. If you're the guy, you're the MVP, set the tone. Go in there, get your shots in the first quarter. Let them know it's like, this is going to be 4 quarters of this. You're going to have to deal with me. I'm not going to play complacent, looking for other guys. He needs to be the MVP, be the face of the franchise, go in there and start off aggressively. Now, Lord Carlisle, the Dragon Slayer, all credit, respect to him.
Yeah.
But everything's favoring, in my opinion, OKC with the home court advantage.
Right.
I'd like to see Shea go out and get you 8 to 9 shots in the first quarter. Like, let them know it's like, you're going to have to deal with me. Get to the free throw line.
That's
because
right.
the free throw statistics are showing it's like when OKC, I believe I was reading when OKC has a 10 free throw shot advantage, they win. I think I was reading that. Maybe it's not across the board for the entire series, but it's like, be the aggressor here. You have everything in your favor. You have the bench. You have the depth. Go aggressive.
Steve, hold on. Steve, hold on 1 second. We gotta tear that down. That's actually not up to OKC if they get free throws. OKC is averaging each game like under 33s a game. They're going into the paint. If they get to the free throw line, it's on the refs. This is what I was saying about the referees calling the game. If they call it, yes, they're living in the paint. Look at all the paint attempts. They're literally only taking a few threes early in the game. They're very, very careful about when they take their threes. They got to be wide open.
That's why I don't think it's on the refs, Snead, because like I said
again,
before,
no Scott Foster tonight, guys. No Scott Foster.
Even beyond that, I think that OKC, the way they attack the basket, forces the hand of the defense and forces the hand of the officials to make these calls.
But they didn't make the
calls. That's not on the refs, okay?
But they didn't make the calls last game. And the previous game they did. Every time the Pacers were helping on SGA, they would reach in, and it caused 8 turnovers. When does SGA get 8 turnovers?
He doesn't.
Not often.
He doesn't.
That's what I'm saying. The 8 turnovers happened because they were calling the game differently. SGA plays the game the same way every game.
He does.
So to me, that's the refs that were like, we're going to let him reach. We're going to let him swipe. It was 1 foot in the paint, 2 or 3 defenders on SGA.
Yeah.
3 sometimes. And they surround, which causes SGA's moving the ball, picking up his dribble with nowhere to go.
Right.
Doing uncharacteristic things. Go ahead, Steve.
Yeah. No, I don't disagree with you, Snead. That's a good breakdown. My whole my thought process is just Shea needs to be the aggressor. Force the hand. You know, if the refs don't call it, the refs don't call it. You can't do anything. But I think strategically, him being the aggressor, starting off fast, maybe drawing fouls, and if they don't call them, they don't call them. But I'd like to see the mindset of Shea getting to the bucket. Instill your will. If you're the guy, we always talk about, you know, who's the face of the league, who's the guy, who's the alpha of the team. I'd like to see him get aggressive real early, get his shot attempts, force the issue, be the aggressor. If they don't call it, they don't call it.
And
but
what if J-Dub is hot?
Well, yeah, hot. Buckle up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. There's no doubt. I think two things can be true. In this world, I think Shea can be the aggressor and go get his, and Jay will. And if that, in knowing him, you are going to have to pack the paint. You're going to have to draw a second defender. You're going to have more feet in the lane. You're going to get Jay Will his shots. I think two things can be true, where if Shea is being the aggressor, attacking the paint, doing what Shea does, like, and it's going to call for the defense to collapse. It's going to call for help, double teams. So it's like, move the ball then when the time calls for it. But I like to see the guy, the best player on the court, go be the best player on the court. Look for yours is basically the mindset I'm thinking of in this game, because this is it. This is Game 7. And, you know, there's no holding back. Go for it. I would hate to see Shea be less aggressive in this game, be closer than it needs to be, or be in a situation late in the game where it's like, man, in the first half, Shea should have really got his. He should have went, you know, more aggressively and maybe more selfishly. I'd rather see the best player determine what's going to happen. I mean, obviously, it's coming from a mindset of somebody who watched Kobe and Jordan.
Right.
Like, I want to see the guy. I want to see the best player be the best player. Go out there and do it.
Right.
Yeah, but you're not naming point guards.
Right. But he's more like he's
well,
a two. We know he's a two.
Yeah, you're correct. You're correct. That is true to me. But I think in those moments, it's like, yeah, MJ and Kobe may have not dribbled the ball up, but it's like the offense ran through them. I think Shea has the ability to initiate the offense. He's skilled enough, and his ability to get to the bucket. I mean, we're not talking about a traditional point guard either. He's like, what, 6'6", 6'6.5".
Yeah.
Like he can get into his shot, be the aggressor. It might not look the same, but as far as dominating the shots, I think he has that ability.
No doubt.
Good call,
I appreciate the call, Steve. We're gonna let you go, bro. Thanks
right,
for the call, man.
Stay blessed. Hey, pray for peace.
Absolutely, man.
Yes,
Me
sir.
Too. To that point, I think that so we've heard a lot of, and I'll say ridiculous, SGA Kobe comparisons. However, one thing I will say, and I will point to in the SGA Kobe comparison, I always, obviously not a Lakers fan in any capacity. However, when I look at Game 7 of the 2010 Finals, I always point to Kobe couldn't hit the broadside of a barn, but he willed his team to that win. Like that, to me, is so impressive. No matter how you get it, right? Okay, I'm not making shots. I'm a shooting guard. I'm gonna go out here and hit the glass for 15 rebounds, right? I'm gonna go out here and I'm going to force it. And I think if those comparisons that they talk about are anywhere near remotely true, Shea has to be determined and relentless that no matter what it takes, he wills his team to a win tonight. That is what MVPs are supposed to do. That's what he needs to do. Bruce, what's good, my man?
Bruce,
there you go. Always moving the goalpost for Kobe. Look at you.
Oh, here you go.
Yeah, he was missing. Yeah, he was shooting air balls, but he still tried to shoot. And I still give him credit. You already know that let that have been the Alpha and Omega, or did the same thing. He would have been, he's trash, he has no bag, and yeah, but you move the goalpost for Kobe. But we ain't gonna get you, it's not Kobe's subject, but yeah, you move the goalpost. Yeah, I heard you. Hey man, listen to me, fellas on the panel, all three of y'all. Back to house on Indy tonight, y'all. Get y'all FanDuel's account warmed up tonight, brother.
Listen, man.
Get 10 racks. 10 racks. The house on Indy tonight. Listen to me. I've been right all along. Fellas.
Not going to be able to do it. You have been right from the beginning, but I can't put the house on it.
Put 5 on it. Put 5 racks on it. Put 5 racks on Indy tonight. I'm telling y'all, listen, okay.
Mm-hmm.
How your fellas doing? But anyway,
Doing all right, brother.
This is Indy's time. It's the team of destiny. Didn't I say that? I said this, but I ain't gonna get into my predictions.
I gave you your props, man. You did say it.
But I hear Sneed talk about, he's digging deep. They're talking about, did he say it this month or that month? Trying to. I said it. And he made it clear in our private conversations.
Bro, if you make the call in May, you're not impressing me. But if you made the call in April, you impressed me.
In April.
Nah, he did.
Sneed, you've been wrong the whole time since you've been on. You've been wrong the whole time about this series. OKC for the been in Cancun celebrating their NBA championship. You've been wrong the whole time, Steve.
What are you talking? I called every single one of Indy's wins in the series.
He did, didn't he?
Did you really?
Yes, he did.
Yeah, really. Yeah, really. And the way I did it was probably the way you did it.
Brian.
When everybody was on one end of the boat, I went on the other end.
That's true. He did. He did.
All right, see, I'm just messing with you, bro. I just had to mess with you a little bit.
Look, I'm here to give you your flowers, bro. If you called it at that point, that's impressive. Because I didn't watch enough, so obviously I didn't see it, but you saw something in him.
Because first of all, Indy was in the finals last year. They used to call them finals last year, so they got the experience. Because Rick Carlisle, great coach, man. He ain't gonna get the credit he deserved. What he did to that Miami team, what he did to Miami, coaching that team up in Dallas. Hey man, I got butterflies. What y'all think better, a Game 7 finals or a Super Bowl Sunday? What you think? Or what's better, a Game 7 NBA finals or a Super Bowl Sunday? What you got?
That's a great question. That's a great question.
Depends on who's in the Super Bowl. Who's in the Super Bowl?
I think it's the Super Bowl, man. The Super Bowl, damn near a national holiday in this country, man.
Basically,
you can take off work for them joints.
Yeah, ain't nobody calling off of work after Game 7 of the finals unless you live in the city where they won the chip, right?
Yeah.
Right.
But like I say, bet the house on Indy. I think OKC gonna struggle tonight.
Okay.
I think Rick Carlisle gonna outcoach OKC's coach. I don't know his OKC coach. I don't know what his name is.
Mark Dagnall.
Okay, he coached them. I think Hallie gonna have a big game. I think he's gonna show up this game. He has no choice. I believe Indiana is a team of destiny. It's strange, but goddamn true. Hey, weirder things have happened.
Weirder things have happened. Hey, wait a minute. You just said Indiana is a team of destiny. You sound like Rob Parker out here. I didn't know that was your boy too. Okay, yeah, there you go.
I love
Rob back to Indiana.
I like Rob Parker. Rob Parker cool ever since he called RG3 a cool wife and cool homeboy or something. Anyway, I think SGA going to struggle tonight. I truly believe he's the most boring MVP of all time. I truly the SGA Kobe comparison is a damn joke.
It is.
I believe SGA don't really have no bag. He got to push off.
That's not true.
He push off. What bag did SGA truly have?
Go ahead, man. Go ahead. I don't want to interrupt you.
Everything was going fantastic. It just flew off the rails, bro. Go ahead, bro. He was
doing so well.
Yeah, everything was cooking. Now we're gonna do this. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
So my opinion don't hold no validity, huh?
No, everything you set up to this point has been wonderful and insightful. Right. Now you're about to go off the rails, but go ahead.
I'm just saying. I'm just throwing no bullshit in the game. God damn, man. That's a human, Steve. Sneed living in $1 million condo. Sneed, God damn. But yeah, man, I just can't wait to anticipation. I just think Indy's going to win, man. Get your parlays together, man. Don't be scared. You only got one life to live. You don't take the risk, you will lose the chance. I know y'all got FanDuels on your phone now. Come on, put that money out.
I don't got that, man. I don't do that.
Yeah, FanDuel not legal in Florida yet.
Bro, we ain't living like that, bro. Come on, man.
Yeah, we gotta use Hard Rock out here.
Hey, before I get out this phone, can I get 30 seconds real quick? Bruce, I just want to say something real quick.
Go ahead, man.
I've been really into the WNBA. The Chicago Sky is a goddamn joke. I'm talking about like the coaching, the ownership. Everything is an absolute travesty. They lost by like 40 yesterday. We're getting blown like that all the time.
Damn.
I'm looking at it at a perspective of basketball. Like,
yeah, of course.
This is it. I feel like I can do better than that. God damn, as a GM, this is a damn joke.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, man, Asia Wilson ball, and man, the WNBA heating up. Yeah, man.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
You know, we can talk more about it soon. But hey, man, check with your boys tonight.
All right, appreciate you, brother. Thank you for the call, man.
Bro. Good call.
All right, bro.
Yeah, definitely.
All right.
MVP.
Oh,
MVP
man.
still loading? Oh, that was my question. MVP still loading?
Wow, stop.
The Chicago Sky at 3-9 this year.
Oh yeah, they trash.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Stop.
Dump
I see what
juice.
you're doing.
Toilet water.
I see
Bottom
what
of the
you're doing.
barrel.
Oh my
Michigan
God.
C.
Oh, the Fever and the Aces are on at 3:00 today. I bet.
Ooh, that's gonna be a good game.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a good game.
Very good.
Asia Wilson going against
Amen
CC.
Clark.
Ooh.
Bro, you notice he didn't want to go off the rails. He was pretending. You know, everything was, he didn't want to ruin it. It was the perfect call. And then he was about to go off the rails. He's like, hold up.
He has no bag. What up, Laker Nation? What's going on, man?
Good morning, guys.
Good
Glad
morning,
to
sir.
catch you on a Sunday morning, man.
Yeah,
Beautiful Sunday
yeah.
morning.
Beautiful Sunday morning.
Bro, it's
Absolutely.
100 degrees over here.
Seven,
already.
Yeah.
you ain't lying. It gets warmer down here in South Florida.
Oh, yeah. What you got, Laker
But,
Nation?
you know, it's hot down here. You know, today's a Panthers parade, too.
I forgot
Downtown
about
Fort
that.
Lauderdale.
That's right.
Yeah.
I ain't going because, you know, I can't be around all those people. But the Panthers parade is today.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, shout out to my man Brucey, man. He was cooking, man. Then he jumped off the Empire State Building with no parachute. So here, my SGA ain't got no bag.
Yeah, well, you know.
Man, they show one bad clip
Mm-hmm.
of a push off that wasn't called. Oh, he ain't got no bag. He a fake MVP. Man,
Meanwhile, amazingly, the most prolific scorer of all time pushes off damn near every time he goes to the rim.
not about to do
Bumps off.
Not gonna
That's
do that
different.
today.
That boy just
They actually have a
through
rule.
people.
They actually have a rule for that. It's called dislodging.
Yes.
It's an actual rule in the rule book. They just don't call it.
Nope. He does it all the time. But anyway.
We're not gonna do that. That's I'm not gonna give him that energy.
All right. I'm sorry. My bad.
You know. Yeah. Today's game 7. Man, looking forward to it, man.
Mm-hmm.
This is if you go by statistics of the last 5 game 7, the team that won game 6 has won game 7. The only exception is 2010 because that had the old format. So game 6 was in LA. So that was the only exception. But the Lakers did win game 6. So ever since 2010, every team that won game 6 has won game 7. You got to also put in the factor that, OKC's young still.
Yeah, but so is Indy, right?
Are they the heavy?
Other than Miles Turner.
Indy don't have Bruce. Indy has no pressure. If they lose game 7, it's like, okay, they were supposed to lose. If Indy wins, that's the biggest upset of the century. All the pressure is on
game
OKC.
1, coach.
Right.
I think by now both teams have equal pressure. I mean,
they won game 1. The expectation
on this floor.
Somebody said Thunder in 5, Thunder in 6. They won game 1. It changed the complexion of the series.
Yeah.
Yeah, but all the pressure is still on OKC. This is why they already, because number one, you guys said about it earlier in the segment. They're calling them the team of destiny already, and they haven't even won the dang on series yet. They got to at least get one first. That's number 1. Number 2, they got the league MVP on their squad. 3, they almost won 70 games this year. They won 68. Everybody been talking about how they've been dominating the East all season.
Right.
Number 4, on paper, they have the superior roster. They are deep 1 through 8.
Who has the superior roster, coach?
I'm not about to sit up here and name their whole roster.
No.
He said who?
Yeah.
No, they OKC on paper.
Okay.
man, but the underrated pickup on Indiana was getting Siakam. I'm not gonna front on that.
Yeah,
and he's been quietly leading the team in points through this whole final.
Mm-hmm.
It's not Halliburton that's number one. It's Siakam. So and he's been there before.
Mm-hmm.
What do you say, Transformer?
19.8 a game. That's where he's at. Siakam.
Yeah,
lead the team.
But he is leading the team in points.
Yeah. I'm just giving you a number. That's all.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, it's all good. But and he has been there. You know, he has won before 2019 as an underdog. So yeah, if he does whatever the hell he did in front of Game 6 at the beginning of Game 6, do that again in Game 7, man. Channel whatever the hell you channel,
crazy.
man.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But whatever he did, man, and take that, and like you said earlier, Bruce, I think it was you, Bruce, that said that he rested that calf. He had them extra days.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think that extra day is going to help Halliburton more than anybody in this series. So in Game 7, you got to go all out.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think X's and O's at this point goes out the window.
Mm-hmm.
It's just who wants it more.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty much how it is at this point. I agree.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to jump ship from where I picked it for where I picked the series from the beginning. Mm-hmm. I said it's going to be. I predicted it was going to go Game 7. Everybody thought I was crazy, but I said it's going to come down to Game 7. It's going to come down to the last possession, and I think SGA going to hit the game winner.
Dang, crazy.
That's my prediction. I said it before the series started, and I'm not going to change.
Legendary stuff right there.
The only game that I got wrong was game 6 and Game 5. No, the Game 6. I think Game 6. No.
All you got to do is find out what Drake is betting tonight and go the other way.
Go against it. Go against the grain.
For sure.
Find out Drake's bet, go against the grain.
Because I predicted that OKC would have to win 2 straight. Because I predicted Indiana was going to win Game 5. So I got 2 wrong. But I did predict it to go 7. But this is what I think and I would love to hear you guys' thoughts on this. I don't want to take up too much phone time, but I think 2 factors is gonna determine the winner of this game. Is whose other second guy is going to have the bigger output. It don't have to be points. Right. It doesn't have to be points. It's just who's going to make the bigger impact out of Siakam and J-Dub.
Okay, Coach, let me ask you something. I got Siakam as their number 1 option in Indy. So, you know, that to me it's Halliburton as the number 2. You know, for OKC it's much more clear. It's SGA and J-Dub, right? Like primarily. Yeah. But if the tables turn, it makes the game kind of up in the air. I don't really know what to expect. Like if J-Dub ends up leading and scoring and he blows up for 30, 35 and SJ still gets 30, 35, I mean, that's a lot.
It's a lot.
That's hard to then the Pacers are going to need like the Siakam game, the Halliburton game, and a McConnell game. They'd have to have that without negotiation.
I respect you, giving Siakam his respect that a lot of people are not doing.
He's their most reliable scoring option on that team.
Number 1. He's been quiet. It's weird. Like he's not being talked about. Like
yeah.
Like, he hasn't had like a.
He's the Finals MVP if he has a big game tonight. That's it. Yeah. Like if Indiana wins and Siakam is the reason, he's the Finals MVP from Indy clearly.
He deserves it. Yeah.
Now, if J-Dub blows up, there's a serious conversation to be had about him as Finals MVP. And
great point.
And like, but if Caruso has like 5 steals, 15, 20 points, he may not win MVP, but he'd be the most important player in the series. You know, like there's a lot of things here. It's been a lot of back and forth, so it's really hard to characterize the series with one player. You know,
they don't get past the other games. 7 they had if it wasn't for Caruso either.
Yeah.
What he did on Jokic in that series. They don't be here if it wasn't for Caruso. But that's not the other key factor. But yeah, whoever has a big game in my opinion over J-Dub and Siakam, like I said, it don't have to be points, it's just impact. And 2, which one of their bigs are gonna control the paint? Is Miles Turner gonna control that paint? Because OKC is coming downhill. Can he stay out of foul trouble? Can he control the paint? Can he it's not just blocks, rebounds, altering, but the biggest thing that everybody don't look at is altering shots. If he can make them make tough shots at the rim, Indy's gonna host that trophy.
Who's played more, Coach? Obi Toppin or Miles Turner in this series? Who's played more and who's played better?
I get the edge to Obi because he showed up.
Same.
But,
yeah. So I think that answers your question.
I think he has more impact plays than Miles Turner. I don't know if he's been better per se.
But
he's been
he
much better.
He has to, man. He has to control. When he's on the floor, he has to control that paint. He has to alter those shots. He has to step up big, man. He has to prove his worth. Man, he got to. Otherwise, they're gonna be watching. They're gonna watch. And on the other side, it's tough for Chet to live up to his height, man. It's one game. You got to give your city one game. Go the fuck all out. One game, man. He has to do the same thing. One game. We've seen Rudy Gobert do it for one game. He can do do the same damn thing. One game. Go the fuck all out.
Mouse in the house mode.
Right.
That's just my opinion. I'm just thinking that from a coach's standpoint. You know, if I'm coaching OKC, I'm pulling Chet to the side. I have to step on the step ladder to talk to him face to face.
Right.
The height disparity. But I'm looking at him man to man. I'm like, look, man to man, dog. I need your best game. I just need one out of you.
Yeah. You know what you tell him?
I'm putting my trust in you, man. Go out there and just.
If you're a coach, you say, Chet, just think about what if this was the last game you ever played? You want to know that you left everything out there and finished the job.
Hey Bruce, you think Caruso's putting that into this? You think these team meetings, these film sessions, these walkthroughs, you think Caruso is saying we're right here?
Yeah. That's a great point. He's a champion.
And you think Siakam's doing the same for the other guys?
Yes.
And you know, like and Carlisle is like, we're here.
Yeah. We're not supposed to be here. Everybody, counted us out. 48 minutes. I'm thinking football, you see. 48 minutes to lift that trophy. Let's go out and take it. Yeah, absolutely. Great points.
And the last thing I'm gonna say before, and then I'll let you go. If Indiana does win this game and win this game 7, we gotta put Rick Carlisle up there with the top tier coaches.
Yep. Fair enough.
This one is gonna be way up there. Because even with Dallas, you still had Dirk, and
the Dragons.
He went bananas. But this one, you don't have no on paper like top 75 crown superstar on this roster.
Right.
You don't have a Dirk Nowitzki this time.
Correct.
But there is some parity, right? But there is some parity.
You have a complete team.
Siakam, the Dirk, all these role players coming in, the J Kid, the Tyson Chandler, and Obi Toppin. Like they have. It's not that they're the same players; it's that they're fulfilling these roles. that this has been guys coming in and stepping into roles, and then some games they don't have it. He brings in other guys. Maybe that's the more impressive part, Coach. The fact that you just got all these guys.
I think it's the coach. It is the coach.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's his coaching, because you got McConnell playing phenomenal. You got Obi.
Reminds me of JJ Barea back in the day, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that type of player, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, they get from them the same role. He got Obi Toppin. He's like living up to he's playing up to the type of player that we thought he was going to be when he came in.
Carlisle's getting the most at Obi Toppin we've ever seen. This was not happening in New York. Like this, none of this is going on.
He's the third leading scorer for Indiana right now.
I think he had 18 one of the games.
Mm-hmm. But the game he had 5 threes. Yeah,
and he doesn't start.
And let's not forget about Ben over there too, maturing. I don't know how to pronounce his name. I don't know if I'm saying it right.
He's had some moments. He's had some moments, but he's disappeared too. That's who he is, I think.
But I think he's getting the most out of his people, though.
I agree.
So that's what makes them scary, because they're unpredictable.
Yeah.
You don't know who's going to check in and come in and go bananas. Like you try to key in on Halliburton. You like Ben and come in and like he did in, I forgot what game it was. He come in and hit 5 threes on you, and they either erase a deficit or go up double digits on you in a matter of minutes. So you don't know with Indiana. With OKC, it's like you know what they got. You know SGA's gonna get his. You know J-Dub's gonna get his.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna play tough defense. You already know. With Indiana, you have no idea. You're reacting on the fly during the game. Like, damn. So they have so many. Like they're the one team that I would not want to coach against in a series. I'm gonna be honest with you from a coach's standpoint, because you're throwing you out of your game preparation at practice, because you're trying to prepare your team for what if.
That's a good call, Coach. That's a good call. Thank you, man.
Okay, yeah, we're game planning, but what if he comes in the game and he goes, this is what we do, and your team is thinking like all these scenarios instead of just relaxing and playing and executing the game plan. So I wouldn't want to coach against a team like that. And that goes to the coaching staff of Indiana. I got to give them their flowers. And I'm not mad if Indiana does win.
Facts, Coach.
Because if I wasn't a Laker fan, I would be a Pacer fan. And I've been saying this ever since.
You mentioned the Lakers. Time to go. Who's going to get in his feelings? Time to go.
No, I'm just keeping it a buck. If I wasn't a Laker fan, I would be a Pacers fan. I've always liked the Pacers ever since then, but I never claimed them as being a fan, because I can't. I'm a Laker, number one. I don't have a number 2 team. Never will.
Easy day. Well, we appreciate it, man. We're gonna go ahead and keep this thing rolling. We got another topic that I am excited to talk about with Sneed, and Sneed is a big MMA guy as well.
Yes.
So we're definitely gonna get.
I'm looking forward to it too. I'm looking forward to it too. Not too many people talk about MMA. That's up for the MMA podcast. But all right, y'all. Thank you for taking my call.
Appreciate it.
All right. Let's go ahead and we'll take it to the last topic of this, what we thought was going to be a shortened show.
Made it all the way to lunch, bro.
Right. We thought it was going to be a truncated episode.
We'll make it short and sweet. We'll get out of here about a 2-hour mark. So,
see what we can do. Yes.
Big MMA news to the MMA industry, the mixed martial arts industry, who I proclaim the GOAT, John Bones Jones, has officially called it quits. As you know, he turns 38 at the end of the middle of next month. He turns 38. He retires with a record of 28, 1-0. Only fighter to never have been beaten by the opponent. Never lost a fight by an opponent.
That's not true.
Habib Nurmagomedov, sir.
There you go. Habib is undefeated.
Habib Nurmagomedov.
Mm-hmm.
What are we talking about?
Habib Nurmagomedov.
Khabib. Oh, my bad. Khabib did go undefeated.
Yes, these guys have that alignment.
Khabib.
Good, carry on.
Yeah.
Transformer, carry on.
Yeah. Guys. But as a champion,
yes,
where do you rank him in the all-time great list? I'm gonna throw this at you, Sneed. Pause, because that was crazy. I'm gonna throw this at you. Where did you leave John Bones Jones' career and his legacy?
His career and legacy are two different things.
Yep.
The legacy is how things play out. The career is your record, who you beat, your title defenses, those kind of things.
Mm-hmm.
His legacy is marred
with
horrible career decisions. Yep. As crazy as it sounds, he left meat on the bone. He left wins out there against guys that I'm not even joking, Transformer. Had he have fought more in his 30s, he would be so clearly the GOAT, might be the GOAT for the next 50 years. Like he's that otherworldly. But he has some serious personal problems. Yeah. He made really bad decisions. He sat out a lot. I mean, the law, personal life, I don't want to get into too much of the details.
Right.
But it kept him out of the octagon where he was so extremely dominant. People were praying for this guy to lose and he just wouldn't
dominate.
That's very there's parity with other guys in other sports that were like that, right? Like, I used to watch Jordan as a kid just hoping he could lose and he just wouldn't. Right. Like when he went on that dominant 6 finals run, it's stuff like that is what I'm talking about. But as a career, when it comes to achievement, and people are going to say he's the GOAT, I can't argue it. I choose a different guy because of the legacy. Right. So, and you don't have to be undefeated to be the greatest ever. You don't have to be undefeated to be the greatest ever. Yeah. You have to beat everybody within your division. Because remember, these are divisions that are within MMA. The next guy up, the contender, you dominate him. The next one up, you win in dominant fashion, finishes. He has all those things, but he left so much out on the table where he could have an additional 10 or 12 wins. Dude, he was a champion at like 23 or 24 years old.
Champion
he could have had 30 title defenses if he would have fought 2 or 3 times a year every year.
Yeah.
And nobody was beating him. He went into heavyweight and dominated the best in the world. And so like there's career stuff that puts him as the GOAT. His legacy is marred and stained with, I think, psychological problems. I think decisions that were horrible and awful. It's so unfortunate to see that part of his career. But man, I mean, you want to talk about a force in the octagon. This guy was unbeatable. That's his career to me. It's those two things. And, he held up the heavyweight division recently, but that's kind of more of those decisions, right? It's more of that game. And Dana White, he rode this train as long as he could. And he basically forced John into retirement. I don't think John retired, actually. I think that's Dana talking. I think they talked on the phone. It didn't go as planned, and this is what we got.
Yeah, it's some news that I'm going to get to in just a moment. Wanted you to finish off that. Another bad decision made by John Jones out of the octagon. He's actually looking at some charges again for a hit and run accident. Something about him and cars and hit and runs accidents.
Again?
Yes, this apparently happened in February.
Oh,
wow.
So misdemeanor charge that he's looking at. So I'm pretty sure Dana's probably talking to him like, all right, bro, that's it. We tried it. Like, it's just so much you got going on outside of
9 strikes and you're out.
Yeah. It's like,
right.
I can only do so much to keep you champ for so long. And yet we can't even come to a decision on whether you're going to fight or not. But
so I'm not a big MMA guy. Let me interject real quick. This is why we have Sneed here. He's more of an expert in this than I am. Does nobody take into account the 2 PED suspensions and popping for coke? Like that to me all the time really hurts. That would be All right,
Now the Coke one, I'll give you credit for that one.
Yeah, but the PED ones I think are huge, right? Like think about how we were ranting and raving about how King Ryan Garcia beat the brakes off of previously undefeated at Devin Haney. Then we found out he popped for PEDs, and it
invalidates the win.
Yes, it does not. It doesn't feel the same anymore, And so not once John Jones could say, well, I ate some tainted meat or whatever the excuse, right? But you pop for it twice, that suddenly screams pattern. And then the Coke, it's like, okay, what are we doing? You know what I'm saying? Now, real curious, is there something going on in that family? Because I think Chandler Jones was wild with the drugs too. Like, what is the deal there? I think Arthur Jones kept his nose clean, but like, what is going on there? I mean, obviously none of us know, but I mean, I think that's just, I don't know. And that's the point I was trying to make, Transformer. It's nothing to denigrate what he was able to accomplish in the ring, the Octagon. But I that stuff has to mar, to Sneed's point, a legacy. Go ahead, Transformer.
I mean, you could talk about the off the field. Jesus Christ, NFL talking to him.
Right.
It's, to me, we go by this, the eye test, right? We do that a lot. It's what you saw from John Jones. And you're like, how can you beat this dude? He's long, pause. He's a striker. He's a grappler. He can submit you. His takedown defense. Everything mashed all into one. And what you need to be a complete fighter was him. You want to take him to the ground? Say less. That's what John like. Say less. I'm good there. Yeah. You want to stand up? Say less. I'm good there. Yeah. You want to get rough and get nasty? Say less. I can do that too. That's where I look at.
I can lock you and make you tap out. Like
man, standing guillotine. Like, oh, you want to do this? Cool. I'm gonna just choke you out right there. I can do everything in the Octagon. You want
to hear something crazy, Transformer?
Yeah.
He went into fights with certain fighters and did what they do best on purpose.
Exactly.
So, like, let's say you were a grappler, he'd choke you out.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's say you were a wrestler, he would take you down ground and pound. Yeah. He would do that's on purpose. He wanted to destroy you. Yes. He wanted to prove the point without a shadow of a doubt. You weren't in his stratosphere.
Exactly. Look at that standing choke. Put my man to sleep. Put him to sleep. That's crazy.
Like the ref was on the wrong side on that.
Look what he's doing to Glover Teixeira. Glover Teixeira is regarded as one of the best boxers in UFC history.
Yeah. Couldn't do nothing with it. The elbows, like everything about, like he would find ways in the midst of a fight when you think he's like, okay, you think you're good at this? I'm going to show you how I'm better. Daniel Cormier never got taken down like that.
Daniel Cormier is an Olympic wrestler.
An Olympic wrestler. John Jones took him down multiple times in the fight.
Bro, Daniel Cormier is going to go down as one of the best fighters of all time. But the problem for Daniel Cormier is he's the second best fighter because the first best fighter ever was in his same era.
Yeah, that's tough.
Or else we're talking about Cormier differently.
Absolutely.
Like this is what I say about Clyde Drexler.
He's a legend.
If Clyde Drexler goes into the NBA at a different time than MJ, we're talking about him in the top 10 conversations.
Yes.
But he was there during the MJ era, so it was a shadow.
Yeah. But
agreed.
Yeah, to me, that's where I place the GOAT conversation in, because of the multifacets and multiple directions that he could beat you.
Okay.
And he would do it on purpose. You're a great wrestler? Cool. Let's go to the ground.
That's how you're going to lose.
That's how you're going to lose. You a striker? Cool. Let's go striking. That's how you're going to lose. Like that's how bad this guy was, man. I mean, to hold the championship, and I believe he has 20 consecutive title defenses. Consecutive.
I thought it was 11.
No, it's high.
Maybe it's 20 across the two divisions, because that's
but not in the heavyweight.
He doesn't have. I don't think he has any successful heavyweight defenses. I think he just won it and held.
All light heavy. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think he has it. Did he have any defenses? Transformer heavyweight.
Not sure on that one.
So what's the 1, 2? I think he has 2.
Did he defend it against Stipe? Who did he beat?
Yeah, he did defend it against. The belt was on the line against Stipe.
He beat Cyril Gane for the title, and then he defended it against Stipe.
Yeah,
I think that's it. So he has one title defense successfully in heavyweight.
Yeah, the rest of them are.
So this
heavyweight.
says 0. How recent?
Oh,
is
so
this?
it went interim because he didn't defend it.
After capturing the heavyweight belt by defeating Cyril Gane at UFC 285 in March 2023, he was scheduled to defend it against Stipe Miocic at UFC 309 in November 2024.
He did.
However, the bout was ultimately his only heavyweight fight, and he retired before defending the title.
No,
he beat
he
Stipe.
beat Stipe.
Okay.
That freaking spin kick to the midsection, yeah, that was dangerous. We heard
that was okay. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that man Stipe said, "Oh hell, no, please no."
I'm gonna go back to the firehouse.
I'm out of here. That kick was so I felt that through the screen. I'm like, oh, Stipe immediately went down. Hey, bro, nah. That kick was crazy work. And that's the beauty of watching John Jones fight, right? My legs are dangerous. My hands are dangerous. My grappling is dangerous. My distance, the way I can keep you at a distance is dangerous.
You know, there's a lot of
setups. Just mush your face. Like
there's a lot of.
Go ahead.
There's a lot of setups mid-fight that you like. If you're a trained MMA viewer or you're in the sport or you train the sport, he sets up everything. There's nothing by accident. Like he reaches for the back of your knee, not to take you down, to start getting you to think about the takedown. So now your hands are low and now your head's wide open and you're about to catch a knee from hell.
Exactly.
Right? Or like you said, Stipe doesn't defend his body. So it was jab. It was this, and then right there to the liver.
Yep. Oh man, his setups are beautiful, man. Like I said, if you watch MMA, you watch UFC, and you just watch him fight, that's the beauty of UFC, because it was everything mashed into one fighter. That's him. Like Khabib was a beast.
That's where I was getting ready to go.
He was a beast on like a ground and pound, just out muscle you, out finesse you when it came to his wrestling. Him and Daniel Cormier fake wrestle all the time because Daniel Cormier respects him so much. Like, bro, when you take down, the match is over. For everybody in that division. Nobody could keep up with this man's grappling. So to me, like Khabib wasn't a true stand-up toe-to-toe fighter.
His boxing got better at the end. His hands got better at the end.
At the tail end.
When he retired. Yeah.
But then here comes,
and I feel like he retired too early for that. Like I'm like, all right, your striking's getting better.
Yeah.
Well, let's improve on that. Then he ended up calling a retirement. Go ahead.
All right, 2 questions then. This begs a couple questions. One, Transformer, you and I have been kind of talking about this topic since last night. I think they have roughly the same amount of professional fights. So why do we say that Khabib retired too early when they have the same amount of fights?
Khabib's fights, because of his injuries, were always 6 months, 12 months delayed. Okay. We didn't get all the, like, if you look at the death row list that John Jones fought to defend his titles, literally the best fighters across Pancrase, across Pride, all these promotions that the UFC absorbed, like guys that were just incredible fighters for their era. John beat them all easily.
Yeah.
Like if you look at the legacies of all those fighters, and he just always beat the best. Khabib was like, we didn't get the Tony Ferguson fight.
Right.
We didn't get some of the, the fights on time like we should have. And then he retired a little early, but he does have solid wins.
No,
and he really did change people's lives. Like when, what was that guy's name, man? Is it Barbosa? The guy from Brazil. Khabib took him down one time.
Oh, yeah.
And changed his face and his head in a way like that was going to change his life forever. He got up, you couldn't tell what it was. You guys remember the Martin episode where he was boxing Tommy Hitman Hearns and how he looked when he got home, bro? And Cheetah was like, he looked like that when he got up from one round, bro. Like, that's the difference. John beat the best when they were at their best. Khabib's career wins, only a handful of them were like the John Jones, like 20. That's it's the scale of greatness, I think, for John Jones.
Okay, so here's the other question. When it comes to Khabib, we say John Jones has so much more offensive versatility, right? Well, versatility, period, as a fighter. Like we said, he can submit you, he can beat you by decision, he can outstrike you, he can grapple, whatever. That's incredible. But does that also speak to the greatness of Khabib if we're saying we know that he's coming with one thing. He is the premier grappler. You know that's what he's coming with. You're not overly concerned about his striking ability, but yet he still beats you with that one tool in his kit. Does that say anything?
John Jones beat a guy like that, Daniel Cormier.
Mm-hmm.
Daniel Cormier was Khabib before Khabib. I'm gonna wrestle you, and I'm gonna get you to the ground, right? In a different system, like a heavy, the light heavyweight division. Yeah. He was that.
But I'm just asking.
Yeah, but the thing about Cormier is he wouldn't fight Cain Velasquez because they were friends. And Cain, before he had all of his personal issues, Cain was the unbeatable force in the heavyweight division. I think he had like one loss in to Junior Dos Santos in his prime. He wouldn't. That's what we needed to see. But they're friends, very close, like brothers. They were never going to fight. That's why Cormier went to light heavy. He fought everybody in heavyweight, beat everybody, and then it was time for him to fight Cain. He's like, well, gotta go.
No, I'm
out of here. Went to light heavy. So, but it's going to be a what if for Khabib. That's why I think GSP belongs more in the GOAT conversation than Khabib because of the career accomplishments of dominance within the division. Right?
St. Pierre was an animal, man.
Yeah, he was. Yes,
St. Pierre was a freaking animal.
And maybe there's something to be said about Jose Aldo, who had that long duration dominance like John Jones, right? The title defenses and the wins. And really, if you look at the era, that was like the best fighters in the lightweight division for years. And Jose Aldo was dominant like that. Everybody's like, oh, we just got to take him down and beat him down. And like nobody could take him down. And you see all the Hall of Fame fighters that Jose Aldo beat. So he's got kind of a career like John Jones in that way, but Jose Aldo fought out of his prime and lost matches later in his career.
So any chance you think that if John Jones can kind of clean up his life, that he comes back to fighting?
No, it'll be 38
next month. None of this matters.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is like the last phase of LeBron. None of it matters. It doesn't help or hurt his legacy. It's almost it just hurts fans. Gets their hopes up, gets the promotion stuck in purgatory.
Limbo. Yeah.
It's bad.
Yeah.
John Jones
I think this is definitely
like Ken Shamrock.
Yeah, this is definitely it, man. I mean, if you're John Jones, man, you just get this man some type of thing. Like the man's gonna need some help, right? I mean, his family is just bred with champions. This man's daddy's Paul's, has just got to be. He needs to freeze some of that stuff.
Yeah,
he needs to freeze that stuff. Like, bro, I breed champions, right? All my sons are champions, right?
Great point.
Like
they all got problems.
They
all got problems.
They all got problems.
So a lot of them do. I think it comes with the territory. Like if you look at all the great artists of the day, like they always had these personal demons that they fought. It's almost like you have to kind of make that deal. With the extreme competitive nature and the success and the excellence comes this, this personal, emotional roller coaster. That's why it's very rare to see even keel champions. It's because that same extremism is what gets them to be a champion, but it also leads to all these personal battles.
Yeah. When you're at the top, man, and everybody's coming for you, it's a different ball game.
Yeah.
Right? Like you're grinding, you're getting to the top. But once you're at the top, there's nobody there. Oh, everybody from below is coming for you.
Laker Nation brings up Anderson Silva. Yeah, he was like that too.
Yeah.
Probably more akin to like John Jones stylistically, right? With the striking.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, he was the same thing. He'd invite guys into the corner of the octagon. He's like, all right, go ahead. Try to take me down. Here, catch a knee.
Right.
Blow up your face.
Right.
Come on. I remember like he'll walk back to the corner, like, come this way.
And by the way, Bruce, let me know if you guys agree. Just because you lost in a combat sport doesn't take you out of the GOAT conversation.
No, and you know who created that foolishness. You know who? Floyd Mayweather. He's the one that, really made it so, because back then, in the past, if you fought everybody, you were expected at some point, if you fought all the other greats, at some point you would lose. But that's okay.
But what if you beat them on the rematch?
Right.
In dominant fashion?
Yes.
Doesn't that count as much as the loss does?
Yeah.
Right.
But see, Floyd wasn't about that, right? And don't get me wrong, his method worked for him, but I think it hurt the sport in the long run.
100%. And by the way, in any sport, the one, or I should say, a couple of sports where the fans are the driving force is like boxing and MMA.
Yeah.
Like the other sports, it's almost like they don't actually care all that much about the fans. Like take the NBA, for example. They give you access to the stars through podcasts, but there's actually a disconnect between fans and players now in the NBA. They act like they're too good for the fans.
Right.
The NFL is not that close, right? Like you're far from the game and stuff like that. In MMA and boxing, if you give the fans the fights that they want when they want them, you will be a legend forever.
And they will spend all the money.
And they will speak to you like a god.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They will never forget you. Bro, Chuck Liddell from the UFC. I remember. I mean, he put it all out there, bro. I mean, he fought too long, actually. And it's probably it's going to cost him some years. I hope not, but he looks pretty bad to me. But like he gave the sport everything he had, and he is revered as a pioneer, and nobody will ever forget the Iceman. Yeah, you know.
No doubt, no doubt. All right, y'all ready to see if we get a couple calls on this?
Yeah, man. See if anybody can talk some UFC.
Yeah. See that's why we had to have Sneed here, so he could join you, Transformer, and kind of fill in the gaps where I fall well short on this particular topic.
Hey man, that's why I call him like, you know what? I'm like Sneed likes MMA. Let's get him in on this, man. This is huge, man.
Absolutely.
This is huge. Like he makes a good point, man. In the last 5 years, John Jones only fought twice.
Yeah, that's tough when you have somebody of that caliber. We see that in boxing at times too. And it's like, come on, man. We need more from you. We know how great you are, but you need to show us here. You know, show us why we love
you. You know? Something, man. Something, bro. Give me something.
No question. No question.
I don't know. Everybody's talking about the Tom Aspinall fight. Like, yeah, whatever. But definitely one of the premier. Like I said, he's my GOAT. Like I witnessed this man just dominate, bro. Like if you go back and you just watch all of his fights and you just watch the difference from fight to fight, like man could beat you any way possible. Whatever your strength was, he'll make it his strength that day and beat you that way. That's how great he was, man.
What's up, Crypto Chat? I don't think that free agency wrecked those leagues. I think that because teams were back in the day were really, really cold. Like obviously they could trade you, but they could have your rights basically forever. No, I think free agency is a good thing, within reason when you have solid rules in place on how it works. Now, if you're talking to NFL, it's not so much free agency that's the bad thing. Honestly, I think it's like the franchise tag. That's terrible.
Yeah,
that's terrible. But it is what it is. But I don't think free agency is a terrible thing. But what Floyd did, I thought, really bothered me in many cases in terms of his, not for him because obviously he maximized his earning potential, right? So that's great for the fighter. However, I didn't like the fact that, he so often, once he became Money Mayweather, manipulated who he was going to fight, when he was going to fight. He never left Vegas, which was always iffy to me. There are rumors out there that he had dirty samples, but he controlled the testing. He not controlled, but had some level of control over the testing body out there in Vegas. So, and again, I'm not accusing him of that, but if you look that up, there's some stuff out there about it. So I don't know. It's iffy.
Hey, Transform, I wanted to ask you because I've watched every second of every John Jones fight ever.
Oh man.
So I've watched Gus 1 probably 10 times.
Oh man.
Gustafson 1, and I've watched the Thiago Silva fight probably 5 times.
Ooh.
And I got both of those guys winning those fights against John Jones.
Ooh.
And I truly believe that was the UFC preserving his quote unquote undefeated status because his disqualification for those elbows.
I think he was clearly winning that fight.
Was it Stephen Bonner? I think a guy that didn't have a chance. Like It was
Matt
John
Hamill.
Jones coming up. He was already so good so fast.
Matt Hamill.
Matt Hamill. Okay, so like
Hamill. I always call him Hamill.
the elbows actually weren't even illegal. That was just a bad reffing. But
yeah,
the judging for those two matches, I think Gus won the first fight, and then I think Thiago Silva won his fight against John Jones too. So I think there's a little bit to discuss there in terms of his undefeated status. His greatness is obviously undeniable, but I just thought I'd throw that out there.
Yeah,
no doubt. Laker Nation, what you got, man?
Man, I just called in because nobody was calling in.
Appreciate it, man. Nah, sometimes certain topics you're not gonna get those calls, and that's okay. It happens. What you got?
No, but this is a good topic, man. Because if this one sport that you should get behind, MMA is one, because it's one of the sports that separates the men from the boys. It's like you can't fake it.
Can't blame the team either, Coach.
Yep.
Oh, can't blame the minimums.
Damn, see, that was a low blow.
What?
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
I didn't say it, Steve. Laker Nation. I didn't say it.
That was a low blow, man. It wasn't a low blow to me. It was a low blow to them other people.
Well, some people would get very upset about it.
That was a no blow to he who should not be named.
There we go. Okay.
No, but to Transformer's point, yeah. Regardless, he's one of these athletes. Like regardless of whatever issues they're going, he's with. We're going to back him and want the help for him because of what he put into the sport and like what we saw, like how dedicated he was to his craft, and we as fans of his are going to stand behind him because of what he gave us.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, okay, we're gonna support you unless you do some outrageous crap that we can't get behind as a human being, which he hasn't done. Mm-hmm. So I think that's where I stand. I stand with him. I think with great fighters sometimes because we love watching them, they hang around too long. I think every fighter should get to a point where, okay, you solidified your legacy, step away at the right time. Don't hang around too long.
Habib, they did.
Yeah, but that's just my opinion, Sneed. I know we love him. We want to see that one more fight.
Yeah.
Now, one more fight always ends up being 2 more fights and 3 more fights.
Yeah.
And 5 more fights.
Mm-hmm.
I know this has nothing to do with any MMA, but I'm gonna use the Mark Calloway as an example.
Oh, okay.
Like I think he should have stepped away from his sport 5 years before he did.
Yeah, probably.
Like, because he's an example of a great athlete that we love, that we cherish, stayed around too long.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have the bad, the bad fight. Well, not really fight, but the showing that you can still see, like, yeah, but this happened. But that's the only thing.
No doubt.
Like, and I just want to give my man Bruce. I just want to say this. Sneed will tell me if I'm wrong because I can tell he follows combat sports.
Mm-hmm.
A great fighter, especially MMA, will always beat a great boxer, in my opinion. There's too many avenues that they can go.
Now
you're talking about like in a
you're talking about now, like the
fight?
modern MMA fighting. Yes, you are correct. If you are missing something, you can't be great. 10, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, you could be great at one thing and be a dominant champion for a long time. The game has just evolved. You got to have a bag, right? That's what this boils down to. No, but there was a point in the UFC where you needed one great thing and you were dominant.
Bags are not important. Stop it.
In this sport, it is.
Is this what we're teaching our children?
Yeah. If you're just a knockout artist in MMA, you will not survive.
Right. Ask Connor.
Yeah, you will not survive because they're not going to stand there. You're a great puncher. they're not going unless you're Roy Jones. You're not going to stand there as Rampage. You're not going to just stand there and let you just tee off on me. No, I'm gonna give go for your weakness. You know,
unless
I'm not
you're
going to
John Jones. He stood there and teed off on him.
That's what I said. Unless you're John Jones.
Yeah.
Do you guys know how Conor McGregor got his first title shot?
You say what now?
Who?
Do you know how Conor McGregor got his first title shot?
Why?
He beat the number 8 fighter in the division.
Wow.
He didn't really
climb his way.
No, not in the way that you typically see it. So if you notice that ascension, which was very, very rapid,
because he was the show,
his fall off was just as rapid. You know, they say fast money isn't good money. It's legitimately like that in some cases.
Right.
So when you see a guy come up the right way and fight the best and get better each time, it's more sustainable as a star.
That's true.
Yeah.
That is true.
But as current, I guess I got to get back into the sport. I haven't really followed the new fighters like I should. But
they all have
give me the top 3 fighters that I should start watching.
Do you have a preference for divisions? Like, is there certain weight classes that seem, because like that's a thing.
I like the light heavy, the middleweight and the light heavyweight divisions only because of their size. You get more variety and more technically out of those type of fighters. Like I can't pronounce his name. I think his name is Israel.
Islam Makhachev.
Yeah, that's a bad dude.
That's lightweight.
And actually, so that's what's become incredible about the sport is that those divisions are incredible. Like they've come a long way. I mean, people didn't even want to watch those guys fight before. Now they are probably some of the best fighters we've ever seen.
They're all fighters, if I'm not mistaken.
There's something about Dagestan, bro. There's something about the former Cold War territories where things are just real.
Well, I was about to say life is hard. That's what it is. When life is hard,
so they get into this octagon. They're like, "This is nothing to me."
Yeah, correct.
This is
close the door. Close the door.
We fight, and that's it. I go home.
We wrestle there.
I would say Islam is a guy to watch. I would say Merab. I mean, Merab's fantastic. Ilya Taporia is very good. Ankalaev is very, very good. Duplessis, that dude. I think he's middleweight. I think he's 185.
He's middleweight. He's he already defended his belt twice. He's coming up.
Yeah, he's coming up. He's got a very bright future. And then I mean, I would probably say Alex Pereira. I mean, one of the most exciting guys to see how good he's gotten.
Hey, now Alex Pereira, do you think that should be Tom Aspinall's next fight?
Ooh, so he used to, Alex Pereira used to fight 185. So you put him up to 205, then you're putting it up in the heavyweight. That's one hell of a range.
Yeah.
You know, it's a move. And it's not common for guys to go up into the heavyweights from middleweight where they started their career. That's really
tough because you can't carry most people can't carry the power that far.
The power, right? Like when I saw Stipe knock out Fabricio Verdum running off his back leg, just flick the chin, bro, with a hook. And Verdum hit the ground like a ton of bricks. I'm like, that's all it takes in the heavyweight division. A flick. And you are lights out. See you next week, bro.
Sleep. Bye-bye. Night.
Yeah, so that's he'd be going into a division with just, I mean, that threat of knockout is any moment. I don't know, man. I don't know. That's tough.
Yeah.
I got one quick question for Bruce though. I just thought about it just now. It goes to my comment when I said a great fighter will not beat a great boxer can beat a great fighter. So I'm just gonna pick, Floyd Mayweather, undefeated in boxing, considered one of the greatest fighters out there. I can't name one MMA fighter right now that he will beat based on the example.
In boxing or just in the octagon?
But we're going 2 different sports here.
No,
right?
No, I'm talking about.
Like
I
if they
made a
got into
comment.
a
I
fight.
said a great
If they got into
boxer
a fight.
a great boxer will never beat a great fighter.
Well, that's because.
And you told me you disagree.
Well, no, but again, you're picking a guy that's not an engagement guy. You're picking a guy who's not
He's
a
a
power
defender.
guy, right? So I would say that's why I said I disagree, but it also depends on who you are choosing. You know what I'm saying? There's different things at play there. And then like,
All right, who's number
for
one?
instance,
Who's number one in boxing right now?
Ooh, that's a good
Say it,
question.
Bruce.
Number one
Say
pound
it.
for
You know
pound.
it. Say it. Don't be bashful.
Guess who? Canelo?
Canelo? Are we sure it's not Crawford?
Yeah,
Okay. All right.
it should be. But no, it's okay. For instance, okay, yes. So let's look at Terrence Crawford, right? Terrence Crawford, I believe, was also a championship wrestler, right? So he got hands and he can wrestle. So now you put him to fight somebody who's an MMA guy, and maybe he's got a chance, right? So it depends on the fighter you choose and that style.
Well,
like Floyd Mayweather is. Go ahead.
I appreciate you, Bruce, because you're making my point.
How?
Like, because you can't be a one-trick pony if you're gonna go into the ring with an MMA fighter that has multiple ways to beat you.
Well, it also depends on the MMA fighter, right? Because what if I'm fighting an MMA fighter who's a great grappler, right?
I say great.
Okay.
I didn't say average. I said you put the top great boxers, great MMA, and you don't handicap their abilities. Like you guys have free reign to use all of your skills.
Well, see, that's just not fair just from a physiological
standpoint.
standpoint.
Handicap them.
Yeah, but
okay. That's my point.
Okay.
Because there was a comment that said something about Tyson would have destroyed.
Well, I didn't agree with that. That was Bruce who said
John
that.
Jones.
I didn't agree with that.
In MMA, Tyson would destroy John Jones.
I think Bruce says things
I guess
for
he was talking about
engagement.
just like in a fight period.
A fight meaning you could do whatever it takes to win, right?
Like a street fight.
I can't speak for Bruce. He'll have to call it in and say how he described what type of fight. If it's a sanctioned boxing thing, it will still be a good one because you can't sleep on my man Jones. But if it's just a regular fight, no great boxer, in my opinion, is going to beat. I ain't gonna say my opinion. No great boxer is going to beat a great fighter. Period.
Depends. It depends.
There's no depend.
It's just like
blow first.
Styles make fights. It depends.
Mike Tyson was to touch you first.
The only guys that I give any type of hope in going between the styles of fighting, like Stipe Miocic's Golden Gloves. So he was a boxer before he started doing MMA.
Okay.
So and he wrestled in college. So he has his base was built for MMA. He didn't start fighting until later in his life. Like he didn't go into MMA as a 17-year-old kid, as a 20-year-old college kid, so like that would be one of those cases. But very typically, I don't like taking a guy from their world and putting him into another world and then expecting them to win. In fact, I expect them to lose because I expect the other fighter to be cerebral and say, I need to put him into a position he can't move.
I expect him to get embarrassed.
Yeah.
Embarrassed.
Yeah.
Like Conor McGregor when he stepped into the ring with Floyd.
What the hell was he thinking? That was a payday. That was a ploy.
Yeah, just think about that bag he was about to get.
Do you guys know that Conor McGregor is not even a good boxer?
No, he's not.
He's not even a good boxer. Like when he was in the UFC winning, it was on a left hook.
Yeah.
There's nothing, bro. Boxing is more than one left hook.
Yeah.
It's the 1,000 punches before the left hook that got through. That get you, like, remember we were talking about how John Jones and the setups, everything is setups in combat sports. You have to get the other fighter to think you're doing something, but then you're doing something else. And then it's over. It's like it's the thing you didn't hear that hit you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I don't like the fighter going into a world they don't know, they're going to lose. I'd expect them to lose.
Now you put Tyson in a street fight with anybody, I'm picking Tyson. Tyson just needs to touch you. Tyson is an animal. That man will eat your children, eat your heart.
Against average people, yes. Against a smart technical fighter, no.
Shit, in a street fight? Nah, bro, I'm taking Tyson, bro.
Nah, bro. We've
smart
seen
technical fighters don't street fight.
Exactly.
That's why they're smart technical fighters.
We've seen hothead fighters going to the MMA world and get destroyed.
See, you're talking about the Octagon. I said street fight.
That goes one way. What do you think street fighting is?
It's not you walk from one side and I walk from another side and I gotta have setups and we're in the middle of the ring.
There's no rules.
Street fight.
It's similar. Yeah, street fight is
similar.
So
every fight starts on the feet, right? So there's the stand up. It starts there. Now, what happens from there? That's the unique thing about every fight. So if it's an MMA guy, they're looking to get the takedown against the boxer, right?
Yeah,
like that's right off the rip, and then it's pretty much over because you've put the boxer into a world they don't know. They don't even know how to stand up from that position. Like they're gonna feel like this 300-pound dude. I can't move. My arms have been disabled. My most dangerous weapons have been neutralized.
Yeah.
It's like your weapon systems are down. You're offline, bro. You got nothing.
Yeah.
So you guys kind of, without saying it, agree to my point.
I do.
But but that's it. That's all. I just wanted to call in because nobody was calling in, and every sport topic is a great topic to talk about, especially if you're not familiar with the sport. Call in, man. You might learn something.
No doubt.
It's all good.
We appreciate the call, Laker Nation. Thank you for that.
Absolutely.
Always with the engagement, man. Appreciate you. And we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna wrap it right there.
Yeah, what I said, 2 hours. About right.
Oh, you sure did. Yeah. There you go. Well, listen, y'all have a wonderful Sunday afternoon. We appreciate you, and stop back, and we'll be back later after I take a nap for Game 7.
I might be a little bit late for that one. My daughter's got a softball game, but I'm gonna be there for it. I will be there.
No doubt.
Hey, man, shout out to your daughter, man. Good luck in that softball game.
Thank you. Appreciate it. I got to do some coaching today. I'm a coach. Got to set the lineup right now, man.
All right, man. We'll hope you guys win, man.
Thank you.
All right, everybody, hit the like and subscribe on the way out. Appreciate you joining us. Have a great rest of your day. We'll see you tonight. We out. Peace.